What's up, everybody? You are watching Celeb Central Africa, and I'm your host, Dami B. And this is the show where we bring you the hottest and latest African celebrity gossip, trending news, political news, and all the tea. I'm joined today by my lovely, beautiful co-host, Amy. What's up, Amy? How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm really good, thank you. How's your week been, Dami? We're back here again, giving it to them hot, hot. How's your week been?
Always coming with the hot gossip, the hot tea. And yeah, my week has been good. It's been productive. As always, as long as we're making progress, that's what's important, right?
Definitely, definitely. Let's jump straight into the gist. Dami, let me know what we're talking about first.
All right, Amy. So today's first hot topic, we want to hear your thoughts on the ongoing two Baba and Annie Idibia, soon to be Annie Macaulay again, the divorce saga that is continually unfolding in front of our eyes. Now, the people have heard my thoughts and my commentary. If you haven't, head over to our TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook page, and you can watch that video back. But we would love to hear your thoughts on this, Amy. So, yeah, it's over to you. What's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts. So many things have happened in the last 1 week. First of all, Tubaba decided to break the internet. He decided to tell everybody he's divorcing from Annie. And then 2 seconds later, a message came up and said, oh, my account has been hacked. And then another few seconds later, a whole video came out saying, no, I say it with my full chest. I'm the one that said we are divorcing. And it's just been like this crazy saga all along. Different people are saying different things. Stories are coming out of the backyard like, oh, Annie was never loved by his family. Videos and audio messages of Annie to his family showing different things that have happened. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, there's this African adage that says when two elephants are fighting, it's the ground that suffers. That's literally what has been in my head. And I'm like, such like a couple that has just been in the forefront of Nigerian everything for so long. People have been waiting to hear, okay, what's going to happen with this? And it was almost like Tubaba literally just gave them every single thing they wanted in one day. And if we look back, the very first episode of our long form content was all about what was going on in Young, Famous, and Africa. So the whole world was already like punching and beating down Annie. And I think that's what everyone has been saying, that, look, this is a very bad time. You already know that everyone is against her right now. The world is fighting her. And you literally just came to basically finish slaying the woman. So I can just imagine what her mental health is like. So more news came out that said she's in rehab now. She's being looked after by Toke Makinwa and also Tiwa Savage. More videos came out that showed that her kids were hanging around with Tiwa Savage's son. That really got to make us know that actually the news might be right. Like, she might actually be in rehab and her kids with Tiwa. And then the next day, Mr. Tubaba came out with a lady in a red dress, holding each other a little bit too cozily, walking down the street. And I'm like, guy, 24 hours is too long for you. I feel like whatever it was triggered him to just say, you know what, this is the last day I want to deal with people thinking that she's my wife. I want to go out tomorrow with this next person. So it's time to release this. So it's been a mess. It's been a whole lot of mess. A lot of people have done so many think pieces so far, but I just feel like, you know, thoughts and prayers go to her. I want her to come out stronger, better. Let her get to know herself again. Let her be able to teach her children something better. Like, let them see her happy again. Like, let them see her being like, you know, a woman on her own again and not needing the validation of him and the whole country. So that's my own take.
And I absolutely fully agree with you. And yeah, I also hope that Annie comes out of this better, bigger, stronger, and hotter, as I always say. I love when a scorned woman or a woman that has been, what's that word? Well, scorned, I guess. A woman that has been
Yes,
upset.
calm is the word. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I love when she then comes back, and looking even better. Her mental health is intact. Her physical health is doing great. Her money is right. I just want to see her come back bigger and better. So, our thoughts are with Annie, and yeah, as you
yeah,
said, your children as well. It's a sad situation all around, and I personally don't think that Tu Baba is going to come out of this unscathed. I think this is
yeah.
still going to affect his reputation going forward. But yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
story is still unfolding, so we'll definitely be reporting even more
Time
news
will
as the
tell.
story goes on. And we'll tell. So yeah, quickly
Definitely.
moving on to our next story, Amy.
Yeah, so we've got three more hot stories for you. Let's see, which one do we want to do next? Okay, let's go to the 419 side. Let's go to the scamming side. So guys, I'm going to tell you guys something that has been blowing up social media, but Young Famous and African came and swept it away. And then Two-Face and Annie and Divya came and did some more sweeping, but this story is still very, very key. So Nigerians or some Nigerians have been found to be behind the what do we want to call it now? Now I've lost all my words actually. Oh my gosh, please help me out over here. My words just
Well,
failed me. So,
yeah, no. So
yes,
I'll read the story. So
yes,
basically, this story came out initially that a woman an Oyinbo woman, to be clear, had been scammed of her money to the tune of over $800,000 because she
850.
believed
Yeah,
$50,000 because she believed that she was communicating with none other than Hollywood superstar Brad Pitt. I kid you not. She thought she was talking to Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt was trying to date her. Okay. Is
yeah.
that not a red flag to start with?
Let's even kick it off. And I think this is the thing. Obviously, he's been going through this public divorce. So somewhere in our mind was like, you know what? He's been quiet on social media. He's not been acting that much. Maybe I've got a chance with this one, but I can't even believe it. So they've been using AI. So it's been found that Nigerians actually generated, or these three Nigerians generated AI images of Hollywood star Brad Pitt, and they used it to defraud a French woman of $850,000. So they basically posed as the 61-year-old Brad Pitt and claimed that that he needed money for kidney transplants as his accounts were frozen due to his divorce from Angelina Jolie. So the victim, her name is Annie, Annie again. Her name is Annie and she's 53 years old. So she was targeted on Instagram and the scammers are said to be three men in their 20s living in Nigeria. How can this still be happening in 2025, Dami? Like people have been getting scammed from the beginning of time, but what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not sorry. The woman was less than smart, okay? The woman was not wise because it then also came out that she was told to leave her husband before she sent this huge sum of $850,000. She left her husband thinking she was going to run off into the sunset with Brad Pitt. So this
Wow.
woman was not smart, okay? So sometimes we have to, not sometimes, all the times, we have to walk through life with wisdom, okay? Now, I
Hmm.
saw the images of quote unquote Brad Pitt in hospital. They looked ridiculous. They looked
So
so fake.
that.
I could not believe it. They looked so fake. You guys need to. We'll be sure to put the pictures in this episode to see for yourself. They look so fake. They look so superficially generated.
Yeah.
I cannot believe a grown person, a grown woman would have fallen for that, no matter where she's from. Aside the fact that she's French or an Oyinbo woman, like
Yeah.
white women are smart. White women are very smart, especially. So I'm just very shocked and surprised that she actually fell for this whole thing.
I think, one thing that I feel like African men, Nigerian men are very good at, they will sweet talk you out of anything they want to sweet talk you out of. If they really plan, like, that's what they want to do. So I feel like it's a combination of, like, not just his doctored images, but the way they were making her feel, possibly, because these romance scams have been going on for a very long time. So these people look for vulnerable people in some way. They see that the person is lonely, the person is usually alone, the person has a lot of money, they just came into, like, they're really looking for some certain things and criterias to use to find their victim. So I feel like she literally just fell in at the wrong time. But this is really bad. And I know that over the last couple of years, a lot of things have happened that American government and FBI, they've actually caught Nigerians in Nigeria, scamming from Nigeria and taking them all the way from Africa, from Dubai. I remember Hush Puppy, taking them all the way back to America to face this crime. So I'm telling you right now, okay, this is a French woman. I don't know where she was based, but I feel like other governments are going to get into this. I feel like they're really going to help to try to bring these people, to justice. So this story, I feel like we've not had the last of it. Dami, do you think this is the end?
Absolutely not. This is not the end. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. Put your thoughts down in the comment section below, because some people will say, well, do you know what? Yeah, African countries, especially Nigeria, love to get dogged on for being quote unquote scammers. But if you look at how much stuff that Western countries have taken from African countries, they are the real scammers. So we are just taking some of that money back. Not my thoughts, but some people do say
But that's
this. So
some people
is there
believe
an
that.
argument? Absolutely. So there may be an argument for that. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on the comment section below.
Yes, please. Let's get on to another one. I think I'm really excited about this one. I feel like Africa to the world with this one. So let me bring you guys a brand new story. Kenya has literally just granted access to travel for most African countries. So they've just announced that a visa exemption for citizens of all African countries is now allowed in Kenya. So all you need to do is just go and do a little e-visa, just letting them know that you're coming to the country within like 72 hours of you getting there, and you can go. So the only countries that are accepted from this list is Somalia and Libya, and this is due to security reasons. So I also got to know that some other countries in Africa have actually joined what Kenya just did. So some of the other countries that have done the same are Ghana, Rwanda, Senegal, Uganda, Seychelles, Benin Republic, and Gambia. Dami, what do you think the benefits of this is going to be?
First of all, I'm so happy to hear this news. I am a Pan-Africanist. My husband is a Pan-African, and we believe in the empowerment, the economic empowerment and free movement of African people. So we are very happy to hear this news. I'm a little bit disappointed that our beloved country, Nigeria, is not yet one of the countries leading this free movement, movement, leading this whole movement, and
Yeah,
hopefully Nigeria jumps on board with all of these other countries as well, because if you look at the European Union, it was born of the same premise. The
yeah,
point of even our ECOWAS system for like West African countries was to help things like free trade, free easier
yeah,
movement for all of those countries, but it never worked like that. So I'm so happy that borders are being broken down between
yeah,
African countries. And I hope that this is a trickle effect that literally trickles all over all African countries eventually, or as many of them as possible. And again, Nigeria is the giant of Africa, so we definitely need to get on board of this, movement and not get left behind. But either which way, I hope movement, free and easier movement for African people of those countries. I hope it will, and I'm sure it will lead to, new business businesses being born, trade being easier, more money to flow across those countries a lot easier. And that is only positive for the African continent as a whole. So this is great news.
Yes, this is really great news. And I also feel that this is now going to push these African countries to start thinking about tourism properly. I feel like obviously if we think about Kenya, people come to Kenya from all over the world. So I feel like the more Africa opens its doors, especially people in diaspora, there's some people that were born in other countries that have never been back to Africa. There are African Americans that are finding out that they're from Nigeria, finding out that they're from Ghana, finding out that they're from Benin. This, I'm thinking about it so much bigger than just Africans based in Africa. Africans in diaspora can now actually say, you know what, I'm going on holiday and I'm going to Kenya. I'm going on holiday and I'm going to Nigeria. And this is going to force us to really look after our own and really be able to showcase all the talents, all the goodness, all the food, all the sunshine in Africa. So I'm really looking forward to what this is going to bring to the whole of Africa. So we clap for you, Ghana. We clap for you, Kenya. We clap for you, all these other Africans taking this step. And Nigeria, please, I beg you. If you know what is good for you, just be following their back. Now, giants, get involved. So can we
Absolutely.
move
And
on?
I echo that. Yeah, I echo your sentiments. And looking at, foreigners and diasporans coming in is actually 100% true. And it will bring even more economic opportunities to the whole of Africa. So we're definitely watching this story unfold and we'll be reporting on any more, updates.
Yes. And our final story for the day, we're taking it to the ancient city of Benin Kingdom in Nigeria. So guys, let's just start from this. Edo weddings from the city of Benin in Africa, in Nigeria. It's the most regal looking, like prince, princess, king, queen looking sort of like wedding attire. To be honest, I'm being biased because I'm from Edo as well, but just seeing an Edo bride and an Edo groom tells you that these people are royalty. So a lot of changes are coming for the Edo brides and the Edo grooms. And I will really say that the main drama started with the Edo men, but let me break it down and let you guys know what's been going on. So the Oba of Benin made a public announcement on the 24th of January, basically saying that due to the abuse, the abomination of Benin costumes and at traditional marriages and burials, men are no longer allowed to wear, there's this rounded, we'll have pictures up so that you know what we're talking about. It's like a round coral bead around the neck of the man is called ikele. And then there's also like a staff that usually is in like silver. It's made out of silver and men usually hold it like a staff in their hand. They're not meant to be using this. It's meant to be the chiefs when they go pay homage to the king. Those are the only people that are meant to be using these items. Also, the women, the okuku, the crown, the big, massive red beaded crown, they're also trying to say that now that is only meant for the Oba's wives, the king's wives. So now the king has basically asked for a cost to be placed on anybody that uses these items moving forward. So I don't know what the whole Benin Edo weddings are going to look like, but Dami, what are your thoughts?
I think this whole story is very interesting in different aspects. First of all, personally, I don't agree with the quote unquote curse that has apparently or allegedly been placed on anybody who defies the rules of the Oba. I know our African people, we don't play with curses, we don't play with anything spiritual. So I do believe some people will be too scared to try this going forward.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with the statement as a whole. I think it's not directly my culture, so I appreciate your speaking on this from
Yeah.
a personal perspective. Um, I just saw it as a beautiful outfit, as a beautiful costume. I didn't see it as in any way offensive to a chief or a king or anything like that. But again, one has to know the kind of historical
Yeah.
context behind it. But yeah, I feel like, the statements and the curse, I feel like it was too much.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where there's obviously a long history behind it. And I was watching another video over the week, and it was basically like an Edo historian speaking. And he basically said that, look, there are different types of these items that are allowed based on the, let's say, the status of the person, that even within the queens, normally the Oba is he practices what's the word, polygamy. Yeah, so he has multiple wives. So different wives have different types of kuku that they can wear. So some wives that have like, for example, the wife who gave him the first son, hers is different from another wife who just has another son or a daughter, or somebody who, or a lady in the community that the Oba has given a title to. Her own okuku is even different to another regular lady. So I think one thing that really could help in this situation is to have alternatives that are allowed. So the way that it's been heavily publicized that, oh, don't do this, don't do this. Okay, publicize, these are what you can do. These are what you can use, so that people don't start getting themselves in crazy situations. Like, because there's loads of people that have made businesses out of creating these pieces, out of like adorning brides and grooms and, people that are celebrating some sort of event with all of this. So at least I would say, fine, we can stop certain things if it really does, offend the culture and if it's rude and an abomination, but give us options, give us what we can use, give us things that are more like widely accepted by the culture as well. So that's where I would go with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I fully agree
yeah.
with that. I agree with that. And I think I still don't think it's going to be easy or possible for them to actually enforce this across, maybe across Nigeria and across the world. I don't think it's enforceable as such. But it will be interesting to see if people actually do reduce the frequency of them using it in photo shoots,
Yeah.
in wedding ceremonies, and all of that. Because again, Africans don't play with spiritual curses, so we'll
Don't
be
play with
watching this.
curses. Definitely. Guys, that is all we have for you in this long form week. But trust me, we are on that social media. We are typing away. We are searching. We are looking, and we are bringing you so much more. We're bringing you bigger topics. We're bringing you like different areas of the African celeb world. We might be going into fashion. We might be going into music. We might be going into events. So remember to follow us everywhere. So on TikTok particularly, we've got our short form content on there at Celeb Central Africa. You can also email us. So email us your stories, email anything you want us to talk about. Any comments you have for us, email us at celebcentralafrica@gmail.com. Dami, do you have anything else to add?
We are now also on Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you guys like our Instagram page or follow us on Instagram and like our Facebook page as well and follow us on Facebook. So you have no excuses. You cannot miss this tea because we are on all the platforms. So we are very easy to find. And of course, please stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not yet.
Yes, subscribe, like, share, just push it, push it, push it. Africa to the world. Thank you guys. Have the best evening, have the best week, have the best weekend, have the best day. Bye.